you for tuning in to Journey to Wholeness Radio on IntellectualRadio.com. I am KJ Davis and the founder and owner of the Journey to Wholeness Center, and I would like to thank you all for tuning in this afternoon. We are back with you again with another amazing show. So today's topic, we're going to talk about something good, transformational, and enlightening going on right here in one of our major communities in Inglewood. So the topic of today's show, Ditch the Weight and Guns, the Inglewood 5K. And I have an amazing guest with me today, Andrea Nate, who is the founder and owner of Forever Fitness, LLC, Forever Fitness Chicago,
Yes.
LLC. She is someone who is actually a very close and personal friend to all of my family, all of my cousins. So now, shameless shout out to my cousins Jania and Danielle and Sugar/Janetta and Otis. I got your girl here with me.
That's my family.
And I'm so excited to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
One of the reasons why I reached out and really asked you to be a part of our show is because as from week to week, we talk about health, healing, wellness. I always like to have guests who are actually walking the walk and talking the talk. They are living out their experience. And not only are they living out their experience from a place of health, healing, and wellness, they are also actually encouraging others and supporting others to do the same. So the one thing that I truly, truly admire about Andrea is the fact that she not only has she started an amazing business, Forever Fitness Chicago LLC. So not only has she started an amazing business, she is also a major force, a major voice within the community. And it's very rare that you see people who not only have arrived to a certain level or attain a certain amount of success with what they do, but they also are very, very strong about giving back to the community, working with the community. I have very close, as I just mentioned, I have very close ties to Inglewood. I love when I go on Facebook or I go on your site and I see my little cousins. I love what you do for the children in the community.
Thank you.
So I can look up and see Dashad, he's helping out, and Kenny helping out.
Absolutely.
And, you know, all of my family really helping out and helping you do things in the community. So I also like how you bring the kids along in your messaging, in your marketing, giving them opportunities to do good in the hood.
Thank you.
So thank you for joining us.
And thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So let's get started. So why don't you tell us a little bit about you? I know you are extremely busy. I keep up with you on Facebook, so
Okay.
I know all of the wonderful things, as I said, that you do in the community, not just within your business or your organization, but helping out other organizations, helping out other people in the community, and really preaching and messaging and teaching fitness.
Yes.
Health, healing, wellness, and the ability to reach a target audience or a community that a lot of people forget and leave behind who really need it.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about your company and what motivated you to start it.
Well, Forever Fitness Chicago LLC was founded in 2013. And I don't think that many people know this about me, that in 2012, I actually caught a felony case in 2012. So before I caught my felony case, I was in the Navy, United States Navy. And in the Navy, we exercised, it was mandatory because you have to adhere to a certain standard in order to be a part of the armed forces.
Mm-hmm.
And when I moved back to Chicago after I was honorably discharged in 2007, I got back home and I had my Heralds, I had my White Castles, my Portillos, and next thing you know, I piled on 30 pounds. So I was working out, but it wasn't consistent. So eventually I lost it. But what really made me be consistent and turn this into a lifestyle was when I caught my felony case. I was found guilty of possession of 30 to 500 grams of marijuana. It was my first offense. So I was given 2 years probation because of it. And during that time frame, while I was fighting my case, it was over a year's time frame. The only two things that pretty much kept me sane was working out and prayer.
Yeah.
So during that time frame, I was in my last semester, second to last semester of graduate school, pursuing my master's in criminal justice at Chicago State University. And I was like, well, I know that I'm not going to be able to get a job as a convicted felon. So what is it that you're good at? And I was like, well, I work out and I can teach others. So I enrolled into National Personal Training Institute. And before I graduated from National Personal Training Institute, I put in the articles of organization for Forever Fitness Chicago. And our instructor over at National Personal Training Institute asked us one question. She said, are you guys business people that happen to be trainers, or are you a trainer that happens to be a business person? And I didn't understand that until she explained that most trainers that happen to be business people go out of business within a year. So I chose to become a business person that happened to be a trainer. And when I'm training others and training myself, I feel a sense of pride. That's during the one time of my life. It's funny because I don't have patience. And while I'm training others is when I feel I have the most patience with correcting form and breathing techniques and targeting different muscles. And I notice when I give, like that's a form of relief and a stress reliever for me training others. So Forever Fitness Chicago was started in 2013. Partially because I became a convicted felon. And the only way for me to pretty much ease my mind was working out in prayer. And I found that I was pretty good, I heard, at training others. And I was going all over Chicago training up until 2014. And in 2014, I decided I wanted to narrow my target demographic down. And I thought about Inglewood, where I was born and raised. I was born and raised in Inglewood, attended Harper High School and also Lindblom, but I graduated from Harper High School, and that's where the proceeds from Inglewood 5K go back to Harper High School. Awesome. So I decided I wanted to narrow my target demographic down. Instead of traveling all over Chicago, I narrowed it down to Inglewood. And I'm not a runner. So let me just put that out there. I am a social entrepreneur. I am not a runner. I've only ran 2 5K races in my life. And while I was in the military, we were basically forced to run. So when I got out, I was like, I hate it because I was forced to do it for 7 years. So Inglewood 5K was derived because I was seeing races on TV that happened all over Chicago except for in Inglewood. Right. And I came up with Ditch the Weight and Guns, Inglewood 5K Walk and Run, because during the first Inglewood 5K, I did hire someone to work with me. And my theory was I don't want to capitalize or highlight the bad things in Inglewood. I'm here for fitness. And they was like, well, if you just want to say you're doing a 5K in Inglewood, it won't sell. It won't be sensational. You have to add, unfortunately, you have to add violence into the equation, or gun violence or whatever into the equation in order for it to be sensational. So I said, well, the common link for obesity and the common link for poverty is crime. Yes. And the common link with poverty and crime, and there's a common link with obesity and poverty. So in Inglewood, the poverty level, it's a community where the median income is not the same as the rest of Chicago. The crime rate is not the same. The rates of obesity and poverty is the number one factor that ties all these things together. So it's like I want to kind of change the narrative of the community. And, like when you're on Lakeshore Drive going northbound, once you get past 35th Street, you see people running, jogging, skateboarding, on rollerblades, things like that. But you don't see that culture in our community. So I want to change the culture and make it normal for people to ride bicycles, make it normal for people to be running or walking, make it normal for people to do those things. So when the community sees those people, they'll say, let me join in or inquire, how can I be a part of it? Or it won't be so surprising. If you see it enough, it'll become the norm.
It'll become the norm, right?
Yeah.
So the one thing I do want to say is I am overwhelmed and impressed by your story, because one of the things that we talk about a lot is every individual's ability to create or to manifest whatever it is that they want to create in their world. And you're a perfect example of that.
Yes.
So a lot of times people are so steeped in fear, so steeped in, I got a felony, or I hate my job, or, so they have all of these reasons and excuses, and it's always steeped in fear as to why they can't create
Right.
what it is that they want to achieve.
Yes.
And it took you hard work, it took you time, but more so than that, and we talk about this a lot on the show, it took you going within. It took you evaluating what was really important to you. It took prayer.
Yes.
It took exercise, because people really don't understand exercising is a meditative state.
Absolutely.
It is the ability to release thoughts, release fears, because in that moment, you're focusing primarily on breath. And breath is connection to life. So when you're in that moment, you are in that moment deeply centered and deeply connected.
Yes.
And by using those things, you were able to elevate and completely change your situation. Yeah. So I honor that personal truth.
Thank you.
Another thing I wanted to ask you about was just in terms of the Inglewood 5K. So was this your brainchild?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
Destroying Guns Inglewood 5K is a product of Forever Fitness Chicago. For the first 2 years of the race, it was under the Forever Fitness Chicago umbrella, but working in the community, I was advised that I needed to turn the event into a nonprofit. Because the first 2 years it was like, yes, I'm a for-profit business. However, I am donating some of the proceeds back to Harper High School. But now Destroying Guns is a 501c3. But yes, Inglewood 5K is my baby. Yeah, it's my baby.
So let me ask you another question, because being a business owner, I know the blood, sweat, and tears that it takes to start a business from the ground up.
Yes.
So tell me, how did you go about doing that in such a very short time period? So just understanding, of course, all of the licenses that you have to get, understanding space, understanding marketing, understand now how did you just wake up one day and decide, like, what were some of the steps that you had to take and some of the sacrifices that you had to make to be able to build such a successful business and brand? Because we were just talking about that. Along with the business comes the marketing and the branding.
Well, I was raised by my grandfather, and my grandfather instilled hard work and work ethic in me. And it was sharpened when I went to the Navy in the year of 2000. So in the Navy, you basically can't call off for work. You can't call off for work. You can't call in sick. You can't say, I don't feel like doing it today. And after I caught my case, my felony case, I was in such a dark place. Mm-hmm. I was in a dark place. Whoa, it's me. Why me? I'm only one semester from graduating. I want to become a professor, pursue my PhD, become a professor, and teach criminal justice back at Chicago State. And once I realized you won't be able to do that. Like I said earlier, I enrolled into National Personal Training Institute. Although as a trainer and nutritionist, you don't have to have any certifications technically. But I wanted to become a real business. I didn't want to just become a bootleg.
So you got your certification.
Right, I got my certification.
Absolutely.
Right, I graduated from National Personal Training Institute. And while I was in school, I applied for my articles of organization within the state of Illinois, and that came back quickly. Pursued and obtained a EIN, employee identification number from the IRS. My logo, I created my logo, Forever Finish Chicago, from scratch. I chose the colors lime green here because when you think green, when you see green, you think healthy, organic. And I chose this color, this particular blue, because it's neutral. I didn't want Forever Finish Chicago to be just all about women, me training women. It's for everyone. So I chose these two colors and registered my logo in the state of Illinois for 5 years. Got that settled. Printed off business cards, created a website, and it was basically I'm a Gemini. So I don't know if people believe in horoscopes, but it's
absolutely
right. It's always two sides going on. Always. It's always two sides. I don't even think I have a gray area. So in with the business, it kind of worked out in my favor, me having two sides. It was like I was able to take myself out of the role of a consumer and say, what made me buy this? What will make someone else want to buy something? So that's when I transform myself, even though I don't have any employees, I don't have a staff. I transform myself into a brand. And I wear my brand everywhere. I learned that from Steve Jobs to dress in uniform. I learned that in the military. I didn't appreciate the importance of a uniform while I was in the military. But once I got out and became a brand, I understood the importance of it and wanted to keep it. That's why you see the kids in uniform everywhere we go. You're a representation of my brand. So I got uniforms for myself. I always dress in uniform. It became cost effective to dress in uniform, leggings and my uniform, a t-shirt or a hoodie with my brand on it. I didn't want to sell t-shirts. I wasn't in the business of selling t-shirts. I want to sell, and it's still my motto, I'm selling health. I'm selling health and wellness. So my boot campers would say, we want to buy a shirt. And I was like, I don't sell shirts. That's not my expertise. But at the same time, the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. So although I may have you as a personal training client, and I may have you as a one-on-one client, or I may have you as a small group client, by you walking away with my t-shirt, my hoodie, my water bottle, or my tank top on, you're a reflection of my brand.
And they're advertising you.
And exactly. So I went ahead and did the hoodies, the t-shirts, even though that's not my primary focus. And I kind of used the law of 48 laws of power, that use the power of scarcity. So I don't train in November, December. And I don't train in November, December because in November, December are the holidays when people gain the most weight. So for November, December, you don't have me as your trainer. So in January, that's when all of them come back.
The ground running.
That's when so November, December is a chance for me to reboot and get myself back together mentally, because January through October, I'm giving 120% of myself to others. So in November, December, I take off to get myself together, and as a market employee, to have my clients miss me and to come back in massive numbers in January.
Absolutely. So to practice what you preach.
Exactly.
To really be able to work on yourself. Because in your business, if you are in a business where you're constantly giving to others, you become depleted.
Exactly.
Great. So, and just in terms of marketing, branding, creating your business model, your business plan, did you have any partners or people who invested in you?
No. It's funny because I didn't. And those first two, well, I'm still struggling. Forever Finish Chicago has been established since 2013. So again, I had no experience in marketing, branding, business. I had not taken any business classes. Again, my degrees are in criminal justice. So I had to learn it. And at first I was a little discouraged, like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to use my degree. And the fact that I have military experience doesn't mean anything. I was sad about that. But as I continue, I realized the skills that I learned in the military, the research, the ability to think critically, those things I learned in school. And all of those things I apply to my business.
Absolutely.
So it's when it comes to branding and things like that, I just research. It's not like you can call up the race director of, say, Bank of America Marathon or Susan B. Coleman and say, hi, I'm trying to organize a race. Can you help me? No,
No.
it's trial and error.
Everything is trial
You
and
know,
error.
it's
Everything
trial and
is
error.
learning. Everything
Mm-hmm.
is an experience.
Yeah.
And I can definitely echo that.
Mm-hmm.
Although my background is business, is completely different when you have your own business and you're
Exactly.
responsible for finance and marketing and accounting and sales, and when everything and you're starting from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
You're building. Not only are you trying to build a business, you're also trying to build a brand. You're trying to build name awareness, and you got to get customers,
Right?
Because you can't have the business without the customers.
Exactly.
So you're trying to pull together all of these various entities that really form a solid business, and you still got to eat.
Right. You still have to eat.
So that's another whole aspect of it.
Still
Is
have to
that
eat.
you still have to eat. So it is a lot of sacrificing.
It's a lot
involved.
of sacrificing. Like my boot camp classes are only $5, and that's pretty affordable. Again, I went to Inglewood, and I want to make it affordable for the people, because with fitness and nutrition, you have 4 different elements. It's education, availability, accessibility, and affordability. And if you're not targeting on all 4 of those aspects of it, then you won't be successful. Your clients won't reach their goals. Me training you for 1 hour, I'm only seeing you 3 hours per week. What about those other hours? So I try to approach it from a holistic standpoint, and I don't know everything, and I don't claim to know everything, and I'll be the first to say I don't know. However, I can reference you to someone that does know. So that's where the cooking classes come in. I partner with Muro, formerly known as the Lupe Fiasco Foundation, Synergy Foods, Rage, Resident Association of Greater Inglewood, in order to get a whole community healthy. It's just not about one client. If I wanted to just get a couple of people healthy, I would just stay in the role of a trainer. But I'm trying to get a whole community to transform their thinking, their way of life. It's a lifestyle change. So I can't do it by myself. We have strength in numbers, so we come together to attack it. Basically, we are attacking it strong and head on. After you work out with me, when you walk out, you don't have a reason to go eat junk, because when we partner with Miro and Synergy Foods and Rage, you were getting fruits and vegetables every time you left out.
So tell me, well, 2 questions. How is it being received in the community, and what type of support have you had? And you said you've been able to partner with
Right.
other people to provide services. So, and how has it been received in the community?
For the most part, it's been received very well. But in Greater Inglewood, which is West Inglewood, and Inglewood has 77,000 residents. I haven't even skimmed the top. I haven't even skimmed it. Like, my numbers aren't even a trace amount, So I have a lot of work to do. And that's where the marketing comes in at. Again, with the marketing, is like, what is it that makes me buy things? And color. How often am I seeing it? Like visuals, billboards, door-to-door transactions. So I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of people to reach. A lot of my clients come from outside of Inglewood to Inglewood to train with me. So the outreach in Inglewood definitely needs to be stronger. But for the most part, Inglewood is very accepting. The support for Inglewood 5K is just overwhelming. The organizations and businesses in Inglewood come together, and it's just a great day. It's a great initiative.
Awesome. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your passion for working in the community, because I can clearly see that you are very passionate, and as you said, not just about a business, not just about getting people to work out, but looking at an entire community and looking at a lifestyle change. So where do you think that passion is derived from? Because clearly it feels to me like this is definitely your life's calling and your life's mission. But what is it about Inglewood and that community, being born and raised and working with the people within the community, and truly giving it your all to uplift the entire community positively, in a positive way?
Well, again, I was born and raised in Inglewood. Both sets of my grandparents still reside in Inglewood right now. A lot of my friends reside in Inglewood right now. I actually just moved back to Inglewood on August 1st. I wasn't a resident in Inglewood. I was traveling to Inglewood to conduct work, but I just moved back August 1st of this year. And it's just a great feeling when I'm either driving, and I've just started recently riding a bicycle through Inglewood, being able to wave at the officers at the 7th District, and they see you and wave at you. I know my neighborhood officers, seeing the crossing guards, seeing Safe Passage, seeing my cousin businesses in the Inglewood community. It's just a feeling of home. A lot of people have this preconceived notion of Inglewood is so bad. Don't get me wrong, we have our fair share of problems like every other community. However, I don't feel endangered when I'm walking down the street or anything like that. I don't feel in danger. I just don't. Am I aware and with my head on a swivel? Absolutely. But I just don't feel that increased feeling like, oh my God, I'm in the wrong neighborhood. That's not the case. And my son was born at Holy Cross and on 65th and Damon is where we lived at when he was born, and his father. And it's just home. This is home for me. I don't know another way to say it. I feel comfortable in Inglewood, and that's just home for me.
Yeah. And that's how a lot of people feel. I know that's how my family feel. My family, they have, I used to go to Inglewood as a little kid, and now my cousin is in my aunt's house. So she moved out of Inglewood and came back to Inglewood. And I think a lot of people need to understand that, because the minute that you say the word Inglewood, there brings about this darkness, this negative connotation of extreme poverty, and people are looking at the labels but not looking at the people, and the ability to really be able to uplift the community and provide resources and services like what you're doing in the community to transform it. And I believe that over the last few years that it is changing.
Absolutely. Inglewood is definitely headed in a great direction. Contrary to belief, there are a lot of resources in Inglewood currently. Currently, there are a lot of resources. It's just the marketing aspect. And I strongly believe the media plays a huge role in the perception of Inglewood, because it's easier to spread bad news, but it seems difficult to capture and spread the good news that's going on in the community. So every day you'll hear about someone getting shot in Inglewood, but at the same time, you don't hear about the block club parties. You don't hear about when the oldest living resident in Inglewood turned 109, I believe. You don't hear about when different things that's basically going on in the community. You don't hear about those things, but I guarantee you can turn on the TV, open a newspaper, or on the radio, and hear 3 people shot on the south side of Chicago. Well, 3 people graduated today from high school as well.
Absolutely. So I say that all the time. If we can get the same visibility and exposure to all of the wonderful things that those kids are doing, and every community, you only hear about, the news and the media is spent to only tell the story that they want the masses to hear.
Exactly.
That way you can have this preconceived notion about an entire group of people without really understanding and knowing what's going on in their communities. And there are great things. Yeah. One of the things that I noticed that you're doing, and you can expound on it, the smoothie truck. So yes. What is that about? Is that part of Forever Fitness? And
yes.
where is that headed? Because I think that is something that would take off in every community. I know I would be ecstatic if I had that in my area.
Well, thank you, but I only work in Inglewood. I only work in Inglewood. Yes, that's an extension of Forever Fitness Chicago, the smoothie truck, because once I figured out, I read a book, not a book, I read a report by a Chicago research team called Deserted, and that's when they touched on, they actually did a survey of the greater Inglewood community and saw the problems, and the problems were affordability, availability, accessibility, and education on fruits and vegetables, fresh produce. So I said, well, how do I attack that? And if you can't come to me at a grocery store because of transportation or whatever reason, I can come to you. But if you do get to that grocery store, will you be able to afford that? That's one issue. And if you are able to get to that grocery store, are you educated on what it is that you need to get, what it is that you need to buy? So with the smoothie truck, I think I'm hitting on the affordability by pricing them reasonably, the availability by being in the Inglewood community, and accessibility, having the smoothies there. And the educational part will come when someone purchases a smoothie, then you get a pamphlet or some type of literature regarding the I guess like if it's a green smoothie or something, the vitamin K or vitamin C and the B1 and the B12 vitamins and things like that, and the energy levels. So that's where the education comes in at. And I just try to become innovative and just think of all the ways to make it where you can't say no. It's like I want to make you fail proof.
So is this something that has already been implemented? Do you have the smoothie truck, or is this something that is in the works?
No, it hasn't been on the streets yet. It's implemented. With the city of Chicago, you have to go through certain permits in order to serve food, and which is understandable because you don't want people to get sick. So we're just taking all the precautions that we need, but we will definitely be launching in April or March when the weather breaks. But it was a long and tedious process from start to finish to get the smoothie truck into inspection ready with the city of Chicago. We had to have 3 sinks in there: washing, rinsing, sanitizing. You have to have a certain temperature in your refrigerator and freezer. So you have to have a GPS on your smoothie truck. And again, just like the Inglewood 5K, there wasn't anyone I can ask, how do you start a smoothie truck? I had to do the research. And I did have an investor. Thank you to my investor who believed in me after meeting me one time and asked me how can they help me fulfill my dream and help in the community. And they saw my passion as well. So they've been very generous with helping me pursue my passion and make this dream of the smoothie truck come true.
That is amazing. Not only is it amazing, it's transformational. And that's what we're talking about. It's really transforming and really trying to implement a new, better, healthier lifestyle and providing the access. I don't
really think I'm reinventing the wheel. I honestly don't. The reason I say I don't believe I'm reinventing the wheel is because just like kids come outside in the street for ice cream, same concept. So when they hit that music playing on my truck, which is going to be the ice cream truck music, they're going to think they're walking up to an ice cream truck. And then when I hit them with the smoothie, here's a sample of the smoothie. And they're like, I like this.
That is awesome.
Then I'll say, we accept SNAP benefits. So it's affordable, it's accessible, and available.
And it's still transformational because every community, believe it or not, every community. I live in the south suburbs of Matson. And in Matson, we don't have a grocery store.
Really?
That is a problem. Yes, really.
Oh,
that is a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem.
So we have to go to neighboring areas to be able to get fresh fruits and vegetables. And the thing that a lot of people don't understand, I know you do, but there is a direct link between the food that we eat and how well we're able to be attentive in school, how well we're able to work, our attitude, our mental state of being. It is a direct reflection of that.
It sure is.
My sister, she is an HR director for UCAN, which is a family, a children family services is called UCAN. And she said they're starting to study the direct link between these children not having nutritious and readily accessible and available food with the behaviors in school.
Absolutely. That's a huge problem. And that's why I try to attack it holistically with you think you're talking about lead in the water. You're talking about kids and adults that have been diagnosed or haven't been diagnosed with PTSD. We're talking about eating Flaming Hots every day with all this sugar in the pops and things of that nature. So all of that definitely plays a role. And behavior, all of a sudden now you have ADHD and ADD, and no, your nutrients and your food is medicine. Food is medicine.
Food is medicine. Food is energy. Food is healing.
Yeah.
And every community needs to have access to it, availability to it at reasonable prices. So that's another thing is you have areas that price you out the market of buying fruits and vegetables.
Right. So I'm glad you mentioned about accessibility and availability and affordability because yes, 2 days ago, Whole Foods opened in the Inglewood
Yeah, I
community,
saw that.
and yesterday I was able to purchase 14 items for $21.17.
Wow.
Yeah,
So they're marketing because most Whole Foods are high as I don't know what they're. So are they making it more affordable based upon the
absolutely.
community?
They are.
That is
They are.
awesome.
It's very awesome. I was able to walk to my grocery store. I was able to go there walking and pick up items and spent
Get
$21.71.
organics. They have
Organic,
right,
absolutely.
right.
I had organics. I got some black beans, boneless, skinless chicken breast, shrimp, almond milk. What else? I got kale, broccoli, green beans, yogurt, some water. All those things for $21.71.
Wow. I might go
Yeah.
to Inglewood
Come
grocery
on. Come
shopping.
on. We'll welcome you.
Like I said, since we don't have a grocery
Come
store,
on. We'll welcome you.
as much as we pay in taxes, it's ridiculous. But sometimes it's all about the makeup of the community
Right.
as well.
And I'm glad you mentioned about the taxes because um, I didn't. I've my bill was $21.17. I only paid 52 cents in taxes.
Awesome.
I only paid 52 cents in taxes by shopping at Whole Foods Inglewood. Why? I don't know. Am I gonna ask someone? No, I'm not. I'm just
Just
gonna keep.
leave it
Yeah, I'm gonna continue taking
alone.
advantage of only paying 52 cents for $21 in taxes. So
So let's talk about. So we talked about the concept and the creative force behind Ditch the Weight and Guns. Let's talk a little bit about the overall goals and objectives of the race. Like
okay.
what is it? Does it draw visibility to the community? Is it to get the kids involved and really allow them to do something different outside of the fact that you said, no 5Ks were being ran in Inglewood, but what is the overall goal and objective, and how big has this event gotten over the last 4 years, and I mean 3 years, and what can people expect when they come out and support?
Well, the goal of Ditch the Weight and Guns Inglewood 5K Walk and Run is to promote and raise awareness of physical activity, gun violence prevention, and nutrition. And the first year, our goal was to have people on the outside come into the community in order to change the narrative to say, hey, this is what we're doing, and it's not all bad that that you hear on the news. So that was the first year.
Mm-hmm.
The second year, um, my goal for the second year was to get the more residents to participate because the first year we had around 60 to 65% people from outside of the community participate and 35% people from the community to participate. So the second year the objective was to switch that, and it actually worked. So this year my focus is never to have a bigger race. I don't know if I'm just scared of the success, if that's what you want to say. But my focus is a quality race.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone is excited about it, but I sit back after the race is over and analyze all the things that didn't go right, and I try to perfect those things, like the registration line, the packet pickup. People want to dry fit shirts. Okay, fine, no problem. I listen to the constructive criticism. I read the social media posts, and they all want the same medal. All right, no problem. For $25, your registration covers a dry fit shirt, a time bib, and also a customized medal. So again, I want to make it affordable for the people, and I hear what they're saying. They want more markers along the route, so I just try to improve it and make it better. So if only one person registers and runs Inglewood 5K, then to me that's successful. If only one person is impacted in a positive way by Inglewood 5K, then that's a successful event. That's a successful initiative. That's a successful race. So I don't concern myself with the quantity of the race. I'm concerned as the race director and organizer with the quality of the race,
Absolutely.
the quality of it.
And where does the race kick off at? And are people able to walk? Can you walk it, bike it, run it, or is it just walk, run?
So Inglewood 5K is a walk run, but Inglewood kind of does its own thing, and I let them. So I saw bikes out there, I saw wheelchairs. If that's what you guys want, then it doesn't pose a problem with me. Again, it's not a safety issue. when they're to the side or they start in the back. But I have seen people out there in wheelchairs and with bikes and strollers in the race, and it doesn't bother me. It just say, hey, we just have our own little thing. We kind of personalize everything, Inglewood style. Yeah.
So it kicks off at Hayes Park or Ogden Park.
Okay. Yeah, Inglewood 5K is at Ogden Park, 6500 South Racine, and the streets are closed down. It is a closed course race, and we start out on 66th and Racine to 66 in Morgan, 66 in Morgan to 71st in Morgan, 71st in Morgan to 71st in Loomis, 71st in Loomis to 64th in Loomis, 64th in Loomis to 64th in Morgan, 64th in Morgan to 66th in Morgan, and then 66th in Morgan to 66 in Racine. So it's a square, but the streets are certainly shut down for it.
Awesome.
And that was.
Now, do you guys have vendors out there? Are you promoting any type of businesses or social organizations? And so if people just wanted to be a sponsor, just come out, do you have like tables set up? So is it anything that people can do if, they weren't really interested in doing the race, but just coming out to support? What does that look like?
So we don't have vendors because that's extra. We don't have that permit, and we're not interested in pursuing that permit where people can come out and sell things. We're not really interested in that. We do have sponsors. Sponsorship packages run from $250 to $10,000. Depending on your sponsorship level, you are able to set up a table, one table and two chairs, talk on the stage for 1 to 3 minutes to the crowd, have your logo or business organization on the back of the t-shirts, on the emails, on the flyers, and things like that. So we do have opportunities for sponsorships. This year's sponsors include Blue Cross Blue Shield, Resident Association of Greater Englewood, Access Community Health Network, Greater Englewood CDC, Teamwork Englewood, LISC. Who else do we have? We have lots of sponsors. Graham Funeral Home and Cremation Services. Sorry if I'm forgetting anyone. Taylor Electric Company, University of Illinois at Chicago Cancer Center, and also the Miles Square Center. So we have had support from the Englewood community and also others as well.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So I strongly encourage everyone within Englewood and outside the community to come and join us in the Ditch the Weight and Guns 5K. That event will take place on
October 23rd, Sunday, October 23rd. Registration is from 8:30 until 9:30, and step off is at 10. Please feel free to visit our website, englewood5k.com. Again, that's englewood5k.com to learn more. We are in dire need of volunteers because volunteers make a huge difference. That's something that I noted from last year. Last year, I dropped the ball with the volunteers. I'm just going to be honest. But this year, we really need volunteers to come on out and help support the race. I can't do it alone, and it's for the community. So if you want to volunteer, you want to sponsor the race, or if you would like to participate in the race, you can definitely visit our website and sign up for all three at englewood5k.com.
Okay, and do people have to pre-register, or can they register day of if they decide the day of that they want to come?
You can pre-register or you can register day of.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. So any other upcoming events or activities going on in Englewood that you wanted to draw attention to over the next few months?
Well, tomorrow, which is Saturday. Tomorrow is So Fresh Saturday at Lindblom Park, hosted by Resident Association of Greater Englewood, which I'm a proud and active member of. So we host So Fresh Saturday where we take over the parks in Englewood in the name of peace. It's a community engagement piece, family fun, it's safe, and it's from 3 to 7. It's at Lindblom Park. Come on out. It's our last one. It's our fall edition. So we want you guys to come on out to that. Come on out and visit our Whole Foods grand opening. We have a Whole Foods. So come on and visit that.
When is the grand opening?
Well, I'm sorry, the grand opening was this past Wednesday, but it's open now. Yeah, it's open for business. So come on out.
And where is the Whole Foods located?
On 6th Street in Halsted.
Okay.
Yeah, 6th Street in Halsted. What else is going on? Teamwork Inglewood, Quality of Life. We have that going on. And I'm sorry, I just can't think of anything else off the top of my head. I do take I'm kind of in vacation mode. I go on vacation for the months of November, December. So if there are more things happening,
and you're gonna need it after the race and everything that you got coming up. In the month of October.
Yeah.
So please give the audience also your website for Forever Fitness.
So Forever Fitness Chicago, you can find me at forfitchi.com. That is forfitchi.com. forfitchi.com. I'll be starting back up my boot camp classes at Hamilton Park in January at the beginning of the year, and it's only $5. So make sure you guys stay on the alert for that.
So outside of your boot camp, do you do personal training? Like what other services do you provide?
So I do group training, small group training. That's right now at Ogden Park. That's on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. It's a group of 4 or 5 of us. I'm the lead coordinator of Inglewood Police Youth Baseball League.
Nice.
The operator of Freshman Release Truck for now to hire someone. I just won $8,000 from Whole Cities to design and manufacture a vending machine that distributes fresh fruits and vegetables to be placed in the Inglewood community. So Forever Fitness Chicago has expanded from just training and meal plans to smoothie truck and vending machines and 5Ks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Various streams to look at a holistic solution.
Exactly.
For the community.
So when people say you're all over the place, I'm actually in one place, Inglewood, just trying to make a difference.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, I wish you much luck and success.
Same to you.
And anytime you want a yoga teacher, I will come out do some free yoga in the community.
Thank you.
We have a practitioner, Dr. Sonia Kennedy, who does a lot within Inglewood. She's a resident of Inglewood, and she does a lot of boot camps and training and stuff in the community.
Yes, I met Dr. Kennedy.
Okay, awesome. She is she does Thai body work at the center. She does yoga, and she does transformational life coaching at the center. So with that said, we are going to now sign off. As always, you can log into our website. We have a whole listing of new workshops in October on journeytowholeness.org, or you can always call us at 708-634-3664 to get additional information about any of our classes and workshops. We have one workshop coming up this weekend on Sunday, October 2nd at 1 p.m. What are you hungry for? This particular workshop will focus on lifestyle, wellness, and fitness. And Dr. Sonia Kennedy will be the person actually facilitating this workshop. Awesome. So if you're not doing anything, please come by the center Sunday, October 2nd at 1 p.m. And with that said, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to Journey to Wholeness Radio on IntellectualRadio.com. Signing off, we will talk to you next week. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.